I want to talk about legacies and more to the point mine. But it really is defined by legacies as I know them. When I think of how someone wants to be remembered, it's usually for doing something or just being a decent person. Someone who found their own way but made other people's lives better at the end of the day. And I'm no poet nor rapper, and I won't even attempt to use any more of that type of language throughout this. But in defining it that way, all these stutters are part of the reason why we should bring scripts along and have drafts of what we want, even though my videos on average get about 6 views, so I'm kind of indifferent to the whole process. But it is what it is. Now, I think of legacies as, again, being something that defines a person positively, or what they're remembered for, of course. Usually it's positive, depending on who you're trying to aspire to be similar to. But also, who wants to be hated? Let's be honest. Of course, we're all hated by somebody. People I idolize or despise by other people, are looked to negatively. Such as Martin Luther King, for example. That's a figure that is almost universally loved in America by both Democrats and Republicans, and is completely disregarded by some people some of which have even been African American, and I don't understand that, but whatever. Oh man, legacies are just things I can't understand, and no one can control how other people see them, at least in the way of just no one has mind control. But with me, I've always thought about what I want to do over the course of the next 20 or 30 years if I'm still around. Because again, you can't take anything for granted in this climate. Sorry for that little notification. It is what it is. And for the life of me, I just, every time I think about that, and every day that passes, I feel like I'm failing. I feel as if it doesn't change. And there are a couple of things I want to be remembered for just off the bat, as if, I could be gone tomorrow and this is what I want. I want to be remembered as someone who voiced their opinions in spite of what others cared. In spite of other people not agreeing with me, I still spoke on how I felt. I wanted to be seen as someone who was authentic. Once again, tying back to that. A person that's not willing to conform to other people's standards of ideology and views. I want to be remembered as someone who wrote and tried to write about stories that were beneficial to people besides himself, while maybe putting a little bit of his own life into those stories in an attempt to market or appeal to people who wanted realism, who wanted something that they could honestly say made them feel closer to the person who wrote it. I want to be remembered as someone who really did not cater to what other people believed, would not accept what the majority of people were doing, even if it seemed cool or edgy or entertaining or the right thing to do at the time, because I knew in my heart that it wasn't, or I felt that it wasn't. Of course, I can be proven wrong. I'm far from perfect. Let's definitely just we'll keep that as evident as possible, although I think I do that every day, make a whole bunch of mistakes. I want to be remembered as someone who had a commitment to YouTube and really every other endeavor of my life to add on for as long as I had interest, for as long as I thought it could be beneficial, for as long as I thought it could be productive. I think these videos are productive. I think they have been productive. I've attracted people on them that don't agree with me. I've attracted people on them who do agree with me. it is what it is. Now, even when I get these detractors, they range. Some will be civilized, some will just act as if they have no level of class whatsoever. And that's another thing in terms of class. I want to be remembered as someone who, again, people say negative things all the time, but really have tried to avoid speaking on someone that was in a way that just didn't seem appropriate or was invalid. I want to be remembered as a male who thought women should have equal opportunity and rights and tried to bridge the gap of genders. I want to be remembered as someone who had predominantly liberal views but could understand the views of conservatives and tried to appeal to some of them as well, and in his heart knew that they were no different from me and that they loved America, they cared about this country, and they were dedicated to doing anything to protect it. That's how you unify people. You don't go around and say, oh, your views make you a monster, or someone that's crazy, or someone that is not my ally. As long as you are a person who does right, who lives a productive life, who can tolerate other types of people, you're a decent human being to me. You can be as conservative as they come. But if you also know in your heart that the majority of Americans are people who are good, fundamentally and internally, I genuinely believe there should be no issue revolving around political views. And lastly, and this is I think the biggest one, I only remember there's someone who tried. You know, I've posted a video every day for the last couple of months and spoken about issues that I think have a large audience, even if the videos don't. And I don't see how anyone can tell me I didn't try. And honestly, there are a lot of things people say I deny to myself, but I'm not going to deny that I gave effort. I genuinely went out of my way or took some time out to speak about something that was important to me, or I thought would be important to other people, or I thought would actually benefit those who did not think the way I did, and that it proved there was a purpose, just a higher one than just, oh, look at me ramble and rave for 5 to 8 minutes. That I actually had something to say and the proper words to use to express it. And if I didn't meet that every time, it's alright. I didn't meet 100 views every time. More often than not, I didn't. And I'm alright with that now because I know I tried. I tried in writing the book. I spent days and months writing that. And just, I mean, wow. I worked on all of this, and I can't, no one can deny me that. So I'm fine with knowing I gave that effort, and with knowing that even though things haven't gone my way and they're not looking to ever go that way, I still hold on to that tiny piece of hope that it might change. And I'm going off of that view day by day. You know, I could reach my 30s and 40s and still be in the exact same place, but I'm going to keep trying, and maybe hopefully it'll work. Doesn't look good, but it hasn't looked good before. So thank you for watching and have a good day.